Absolutely.
I was reading an article the other day, and it was written by this black lady, and she was talking about how she felt like black women were like the bullies of the black community. How do you feel about that?
That is true.
Yo, 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 welcome to the Black Club. I'm your host and founder of the show, bnote. Today I got a special guest with me. She has a Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration with a minor in accounting, an MBA in Business Administration, a Master of Science in Taxation. She's a member of the Institute of Internal Auditors, Certified Fraud Examiners, Financial Planning Association, and Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association. Damn. She has over 15 years of experience in the trucking industry as a consultant and provides CFO services to trucking and transportation. You the founder of LBE Consulting?
I'm the founder.
She is. So she's the founder of LBE Consulting PLLC. She's Miss Tax CEO herself, Miss Lorra Brown.
Hello. Thank you so much for that.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I was looking into you, and I saw some of the posts on your like the locations on your posts had Dallas. You in Dallas?
Yes, I am in Dallas. Well, let me tell you, sometimes I'm in Atlanta, then I'm in Dallas. So I am just everywhere where my clients are. But my home base is part Dallas and then the other part Atlanta.
I wish I'd have knew that. We could have did this in person.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm in Dallas. Yeah, I was.
Oh, dang!
Yeah, I wish I'd do that. But I saw that you do a lot of work in Arkansas. Is that where you from?
I do. We're from Arkansas. Yeah.
What part?
I'm from a small town called Crossett, right next to Hamburg, where Scottie Pippen is from.
I'm from Prescott.
Oh, okay. I know where that is.
That's crazy. Look at that.
We sure should have been in person so we could have cut up.
Yeah, like for real. God dang. So what was it like growing up for you then?
For me, I grew up, my grandmother and my dad raised me. My mother was in the military, so it was a Christian home. It was going to church all the time, and it was like, we don't do everything that everybody else does. And they were all really about the books, being in the books. You're going to be somebody. You're going to do something. So that is how it was.
One thing you was going to do, you was going to graduate.
Yes.
It was like that growing up. That's crazy. Yo, check out my new store, the Black Club store. We've got men's clothes, women's clothes, kids' clothes, even got playing cards for you spades players out there. You can even get a Black Club pet bowl for you pet owners. We love the pets too. And we're still growing. So there'll be more to come. You can go to the Black Club website at theblackclubpodcast.com and click on the Black Club store. The link is also in the description. So head on over to the Black Club store and get your Black Club gear today. Let me see if I got this right. In 2022, you were the first Black female appointed by the Chicago Federal Reserve.
Yes. So they have a program called Money Smart Week. So I was appointed over the Arkansas. So I would go back and do financial literacy for Arkansas and have just different type of events. I'm really big on financial literacy. I think it is really important, especially in our community. When I was growing up, my parents talked about, making sure that you have savings, making sure that you have money. But if you remember, at those times, they would be like, your name is all you have. So that's your credit at those times, because they could go to stores and trade. So they believed in paying who they owed.
Yeah. So being the first Black woman in today's, time, How did that make you feel?
Made me feel good. I mean, this is not the first time that I've been the first Black woman to be initiated in something, but it always feels good because it's reminded me that who I service is women and that they can do it too. But not only those women, my daughters, my granddaughters.
Yeah.
So you can be anybody and do anything that you want to do.
Yeah, I like that. You see a lot of the topics on social media, right? Some of them,
Right.
majority of them I've seen one where they talk about Black men being intimidated by successful Black women. You are a successful Black woman. How do you feel about that? You think it's some truth to that?
I think it is, because it's based upon the individual person. Some men cannot handle a strong woman, and then some men, they do. They allow you to just, be in your role and be who you are, and the money situation, the power, that does not matter. So I think it's just, you've got to pick the right partner for you. I always say, don't pick a partner that doesn't want you to be in business and then you go in business, because you're not going to get that support at home that you're looking for.
Oh yeah, I know that for sure. You have a partner that you think gonna be there and help out, and they don't want to have nothing to do with it. Really hoping it fails.
Yes.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
see it all the time. They say, this is not my responsibility. This is not my business. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, and then when it take off, they want to be a part of it.
Yes,
Nah,
absolutely.
I was reading an article the other day, and it was written by this Black lady, and she was talking about how she felt like Black women were like the bullies of the Black community. How do you feel about that?
That is true. That is true. Some of us are. Some of us are. And even though I will tell you, if you look back and you see on my page, I used to do an awful lot of speaking engagements at women organizations and brunches and things like that. I've kind of slowed back because I was like, okay, what are we really coming here to do? And some of it, it's all about association, cliques, and just, things like that. When I meet with people, I want to be able to leave something tangible with you in your mind that you can go and you can execute right then.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
I like that. You just spoke about financial literacy earlier. Speaking of, it's a known major problem in the Black community, like you said. How do we overcome it? How do we fix it?
I think the first thing that we've got to fix is our mindset. So I belong to the Financial Therapy Association as well. I know you like, what do she not belong to? But anyway.
You seen me earlier, I was like, damn, I'm just naming them. I didn't even know I wrote that many out.
I know. So anyways, one of the things is studying about the relationships that we have with money. And sometimes our money are from social disadvantages, but then it can also be spiritually, it can be connected for a lot of reasons. So when you decide to how you're going to handle money and how money is for you in your life, then that is where you're going to start progressing. So I think we got to start from the bottom, meaning start teaching our kids about money early. So if my grandkids want $1 or they want $20, they come stay for the summer, they have to do chores. You have to do some things to earn that money. We just don't give it to you. So I think that we need to go back to that, earning and adapting and having good habits.
Yeah, that my kids know when they come to my house. Ain't no sleeping to 12, and you gonna wash dishes, you gonna clean up. That's how we grew up.
Yep.
I'm traditional like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With the way the economy is right now, what's the best strategy to build wealth?
So the best strategy that I'm working with my clients and those that I'm speaking to is I'm telling them to pay attention to the atmosphere and cut as lean as you can. Always try to live below your means. You're going to have to strategize how you're going to attract customers. Now, a lot of people think running sales is the best thing. That's not always the best thing. You've got to sit down and have a plan.
Yeah.
And when you're not planning this out, you set yourself up for failure. So like right now, I know what it is that is not really going to be panning out for me in my business a whole lot. So, everybody does taxes, and then the IRS set up the free tax file. So tax preparation for certain individuals, that is going to slow down. But then I got my pipeline over here that I do audit representation. And so I do all of those sales tax audits, all of those things. So I always have a pipeline that's going. And then outside of this main business, I have another business. So we're going to keep something going in the pipeline.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, and you spoke of taxes. A lot of small business owners, that's where they go wrong when it comes to the taxes. How important is that?
It's very important. You got to know what you're responsible for. And ignorance is not bliss. The IRS and the state don't care that you don't know. It's your responsibility to understand, first of all, what your tax obligations are. Second of all, if you're signing off on tax returns, there is a little verbiage that says under penalty and perjury. You've got to know that you're signing this. They're not going to be coming after the person that's really being fraudulent. They're going to say you're responsible, but at some point they're going to look at them if it's a repeated behavior. But you got to protect yourself and know what you're doing and be educated.
Well, these people that take those risks and go with the ones that kind of like build it up a little bit, you know what I mean? Is that speak on that a little bit. Is that safe, or is that a good idea?
It is not safe at all, because again, I have a lot of clients that I get clients because people have done claims for the family, for family credits or different things, or have people's kids on there that's not theirs, for child care credit, earned income, so that they can get earned income credit, all of these things. Look, you're putting penalties and interest, and then you're also putting yourself in harm's way. Let's just say you're young, we're 20, we don't know any better, but by the time we have a child, we may not be able to carry our own child, because the IRS can say that you're not eligible to claim this credit for 7 to 10 years. So then there you are paying in, because you cannot claim a child that belongs to you because you did something before that you shouldn't have, because everybody's doing it.
And you know what'd be crazy? They'll get away with it. You be the main one get caught.
Absolutely. And I hear those stories all the time. I wish you could just only imagine the stories and the things that I see. I tell people all the time, I could write a book and none of it is fake. It's all true. I'm never surprised anymore. At first, I used to be surprised. I'm never surprised anymore. What might come across my desk, what I might see. I mean,
how long you been in Texas?
So I came to Texas. Chase recruited me in 2002.
Okay. I got out here. I came in 2003. That's crazy.
Okay. Yeah. So I started out in banking. That's where I started.
I started out, it wasn't in banking, but
working for JP Morgan Chase.
If I wanted to start a business today, how should I go about it?
The first thing I would say, look at what business that you're going to start. Have a business plan. A lot of people skip this step because they think it's too cumbersome, or they just don't know what they're doing. Have a business plan. This is going to say how the business is going to run, how it's going to do within, if you're going to do 5 years, 10 years, whatever. A list of expenses that you're going to anticipate. It's going to be a map that you can use. It doesn't mean it's set in stone, because you can always change that. One thing that I tell people is to make sure that you're going in with a profit motive. That's what a true business is to the IRS. But also, you should be wanting to make a profit. So that's my first thing that I would tell you. I would tell you, do as much research as you could about your industry. Make sure that you know your tax liabilities. Is it just in... See, we don't pay state taxes in Texas, but if you go over to Georgia and you have an employee there, you're responsible for those state taxes. So you need to know. And then if you're selling products in another state and it goes above the threshold, then you need to start making sales tax payments there. So I I know you need to do a lot of due diligence. It doesn't mean you're going to know everything, but get around people that know things that you can ask questions, but get around the right people, because there's a lot of people that do not interpret the law correctly. Or they say it's a gray area when it's really not a gray area. It's been laid out in court cases that has defined that this is how it should work. This is precedence.
Yeah. A lot of people think that when you start a business, you need to jump right in with an LLC. I had saw on your IG that you speak about where you don't really need an LLC to get a lot of stuff done. At what point should I get one, or if I even should get one?
Well, I think that you should get one depending on the type of business that you're in. So especially if you're saying I'm going to be doing consulting, because you're giving people advice. And so that's a protection for you right there. But if it's something that you don't really need any protection, then you don't necessarily have to have one, because you can still take all the deductions as long as you show the profit motive and that you're really running a legit business, you're documenting, you're following the IRS pubs, the state pubs, all of that, then you're good. But I always tell people, if you're doing anything where you can have someone come back and sue you, or, you're dealing with trucking companies with big, heavy equipment, those type of things, you need LLCs and multiples set up for that type of stuff.
Can I do like a tax write-off without an LLC?
Yeah, you can still write it off.
How do I do that?
Yeah. So what you need to do, let's just say that you were using my services. So then I would invoice you. And then what you would do at the end of the year, well, keep your books, use QuickBooks or something similar to that. And if you're not doing enough to use QuickBooks, I always tell people you can use Excel spreadsheets. Just go away and be plugging what it is. Make sure that you file your invoices away or your receipts, whatever it is. And at the end of the year, whoever your tax person is, you can give them that information and they can use it. You can have your name, just use your name as the DBA, and then they'll put any money you generated and all your expenses. And if it's a first year startup and you purchase assets, then they'll just record the assets for the first year startup so that you can get that tax credit.
Okay. Well, and what's the benefits of having an LLC?
It's protection. That's what it is.
Basically.
Because when you have an LLC with the IRS, you're set as a disregarded entity unless you make the election to be taxed as an S Corp. So that's why I just tell people it's just for your protection on a state level, because the IRS is not really recognizing that unless you make an election.
And see, you spoke of S Corp. A lot of people don't know the difference between LLCs, S Corp, C Corp. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like that's very, how important is that?
That is very important, because each one of these companies works different. C Corps has dividends. S Corps, you are the owner, but you also must be on payroll and you must be taking a reasonable compensation. So it's a lot more for S Corps and C Corps. It's a lot more reporting. It's a lot more things that you have to do, because you are structured and you have to follow these rules. LLCs, you can be a little lazy. You can take money out of there, and regardless of what, you're going to be taxed on it. So you can take money and use it for your personal or whatever, because we see people doing that, which you shouldn't do, but they commingle and nothing's going to happen. You start doing that over on these other companies, and then you have issues. IRS will become calling for you. You know where a lot of small business owners also go wrong that I looked up? Is not having a financial strategy. You talk a lot about that too on your IG. I noticed that too. I do.
Can you tell how important that is?
I think it's very important, because if you don't have a financial strategy, what are you out here doing? You just out here spending, that you don't even know what you're doing. You don't know where you're going, and you become your own self worst enemy because you're not planning.
Yeah.
All of these things need to be planned out.
Do you have a brand or a business that you would like to promote? Drop by the club. Let us share your story your way. Go to the Black Club website at theblackclubpodcast.com and click on Be a Guest. The link will also be in the description. Let us see what kind of magic we can create together.
Was in high school, I was a teenage mom. And so on my first child, I'll never forget, a family member did a tax return and it was wrong. So he got a letter. He had to go to the IRS. He went over there the first time. The second time he went to the office and I had to go, and I'll never forget, they were asking questions about my son. Someone had put that he goes to a daycare, and he didn't. My grandmother was watching him. And so I'll never forget, at the end, the gentleman told him, "You need to pay us our money back or else." And so I was like, you know what? We will never be intimidated. Anybody in my family will never be intimidated like that.
So that's what inspired you to come up with it.
Yep.
With
I'll learn and I'll be the voice. And I have been the voice, not only for my family, but for those that can't fight for themselves because they don't know the law, because they don't know what's right and what's wrong. Yeah. And so I speak for those people.
When it comes to taxes, what are some of the most common mistakes that you see people make?
Rounding everything off to zeros. What's the likelihood if you're running a business 500, 200, 300? Yeah. That's what I see.
Yeah.
Not reporting all their income.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Commingling the funds, meaning you have a business, but you have the deposits going into your personal account, or then when you do open up a business account, now you're paying for your apartment out of your business account, and you're paying for your nails, your hair. So those are some of the things that I typically see people doing.
Okay. I saw that you did a panel with Educated Girls Rock.
Yes.
Yeah, I had Nisha on here like a few weeks ago. How was that? What was that like?
It was amazing. I love talking to young girls, and I just love what Nisha stands for and what she's doing. Yeah. I think that it is very important that we just educate the next generation, but not only the next generation, but pour into our young girls. Let them know that they can be whoever they want to be, and that a man is not a financial plan. Not even just a man, but just anybody. You have to rely on yourselves. So I think that, that is a really good organization. For me, I tell people, get some type of trade. Coming from Arkansas, we used to have trade schools and stuff.
So
my parents used to say, you go to a trade school, you go somewhere, but you get you some education so you can do something.
Yep. I try to be on my kids like that, try to, keep them focused on school, because at some point you're going to need it.
Yes.
You got kids?
And I do.
You said you got 3, right?
Yes. So I have 3 grown children.
Okay.
I have 3 grown children and I have 5 grandchildren. So now I motivate my grandchildren to make sure that they, do what it is that they want to do. We have my oldest grandson says he wants to be a scientist. So I'm behind him.
Okay.
So I'm pushing already. Let's go visit colleges. And my oldest son, which is his uncle, I'm like, okay, let's take him on trips. My youngest son, Stephen, which lives in Atlanta, he does things. So we sit up there and we say, okay, let's make sure that we keep him involved and keep him motivated of thinking about what it is that he wants to do, because time goes by fast. You already know that. You be in 9th grade, next thing you look around, it's time to graduate.
Yeah.
And you like, where did that time go?
You ain't lying.
Yeah.
Oh man, it happens so quick to where the only thing you can do is have regrets. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I wish I would have did this, or I wish I would have done that. But yeah. I got one more. I'm gonna let you get out of here.
Okay.
5 years from now, where do you want to see yourself?
Okay,
I know you already got so many accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? But you know how we are as Black people. We like to keep it going.
We do. So 5 years from now, I see me having my law license.
Okay.
Yes. So having more businesses that are self-sufficient. My goal is to always have a business that is self-sufficient, doesn't require for me to be working in the business at all times. Just creating things that I can leave to my children or to their children, and let it continue to go, just like Walmart. So that's what I see for 5 years from now, continuing to build on the entrepreneurial side and getting that law.
That's what's up. Anything you want to mention or that you have going on?
Oh, let me see. So on the 16th, I will be talking with a group, MCWN organization, Christian organization. And so I'll be talking about finances to women. And so then on the 26th, I will be talking at the 129 Made, and we do a roundtable. So I'll be doing finances. So if you follow me on Instagram at the Tax CEO, you can see me putting all that information out there, and I would love for people to join us. So this is a time that you get a chance to come and ask questions and get a chance to learn some things.
Yeah. Okay. And how can we follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook, and you can follow me on Twitter. And so all of it is going to be LBE Consulting. Okay. Except for Instagram, again, is the Tax CEO.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How involved are you in the community here in Dallas?
I'm involved. I sit on nonprofits. I always go to areas that are less than fortunate, such as West Dallas.
Okay, because I got some ideas of some things that I kind of want to do with the show.
Okay.
For the community and where I want to take it, and I kind of want to, just run some things by you and see that's not part of this. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yes, I love to. I'm always loving to be a sounding board. That was one of my great things when I was at SCORE. I was at Fort Worth, Rosedale. I was there for 4 years. So, that was one of the things I got to interact with new entrepreneurs, be a sounding board, help you out. So I love things like that.
Okay. Do I reach through Steven or?
No, when we get off of here, you can reach out.
I got you. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I definitely appreciate everything you do. I got daughters. I got 3 daughters. So anytime I can have somebody on that's like that, that's an honor for me. So,
well, thank you so much. And congratulations on 3 daughters. Cause I know that's a handful. I only had 1 and that was a handful.
God. And I got 2 of them that's teenagers. So, that's.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. At the same time.
I remember those days. Nice. My granddaughter is not a teenager. She's 11 years old. But when she was here, she's like, Gigi, I want to go to Ultra. And let me tell you, she wants expensive things that I buy. I'm like, wait a minute. When did this start? Listen. And you're in Ultra and you're in Sephora and you're seeing parents buying these kids all this expensive stuff. They know all the stuff for their face, the lip gloss. Yeah. You got the hand sanitizer spray cost $15. And I'm like, what? You don't need that. You can get some from the Dollar Tree.
I'm in there buying wigs and the wig glue, eyeliner glue. I'm like, man, when did this start?
Yes.
Man, it's crazy.
It is.
But ladies and gentlemen, Miss Lorra Brown, the tax CEO.
Thank you, Brandon. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate you having me today.